HBO's Lovecraft Country only has one episode remaining, and at this point, they have yet to confirm a second season. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a one and done, and I'm pretty disappointed at that, and I'm pretty sure everybody watching this video is as well, as you're most likely a fan of the TV show. In this video, mostly I'm gonna focus on my very own in-game theories and discuss these 10 promotional photos they just released to go along with the episode. Now please, before we get started, if you watch this video and decide you like it and want to become a fan, make sure you slap a like on this video, subscribe, and then turn your notifications on so you'll get an alert every single time I drop a video throughout the wait for any new HBO series that I may be covering, or as I call it, Long Night. Now in this first promo image that HBO released, we have Atticus looking as though he's holding something in his hand, and it looks like there's blood on his fingertips and a little bit of blood on that little cloth there. Now what's interesting is that in his other hand he appears to be holding a bottle. Not just any old bottle, the same sort of potion type bottle that Ruby is often handed by William/Cristina when she becomes that white woman. Now, in my opinion, what this could potentially mean is the fact that everyone thinks that Ruby's going to work with Cristina and betray Atticus, Lettie, and Montrose, and Hippolyta may be incorrect, as the only reason why Atticus would have this potion is he stole it from Cristina. Now, he's not going to be able to do that himself, and I'm thinking that Ruby will likely hand him this potion, have Atticus become the white woman Ruby, turns into, I think her name is Charlotte, and maybe she could pull an old switcheroo and have Atticus go in as sort of like a Trojan horse type creature, and of course Cristina would think that he is Ruby, and maybe he will be able to get some information to him. You know, while I'm making this video, I actually thought there's a possibility that they could have stolen this potion from Ruby and maybe have her just sort of held up somewhere, and Atticus is going to go there in her place and learn more information or more about what she's planning. Another option, and that brings me into the next picture I want to discuss, and that's the one with Lettie talking to Ruby, and it looks as though Lettie is holding the Book of Names. And the reason why I sort of want to relate the two of these is because potentially what could be happening in that first picture with Atticus holding that potion bottle is that Lettie and Atticus and Montrose, and with the help of course, Hippolyta and maybe even Uncle George, have all discovered a way to maybe make this potion themselves. Maybe since we knew that it's possible for Cristina to do two different versions of it and have two different people sort of on life support that were dead and still be able to create this potion, maybe it's possible for the main characters to figure out how to do it once. And maybe what's actually happening in the picture with Atticus and where he's holding the potion, he could actually be about to turn into maybe Cristina. And since Atticus is clearly standing in the woods and it appears to be twilight or right before the sun's about to go down, maybe since he'll turn into Cristina or her father or William perhaps, he's doing this in order to keep her shaggoths off of his ass. We know they're headed to Arden. We saw in that promo trailer that Dee is in the car and she's being attacked by the shaggoths. So maybe he plans to somehow turn into Cristina or William or someone else that they've been able to get the blood of that will be protected, i.e. Charlotte or the white woman that Ruby turns into that actually trained these shaggoth demon vampire things. Maybe that's what Atticus's plan is, or what Ruby's plan is the whole time, is to slip him that potion. Maybe they stole it from Ruby. I don't know. We'll find out soon. Now the next few pictures that I want to discuss is one of Cristina and Ruby standing in what's clearly Cristina's lab, and if you can kind of see in the background, it's blurry, but this is the same ritual picture that we see from the Book of Names that involves Cristina becoming immortal and sacrificing Atticus in the process in order to do so. Now it looks as though this is sort of, I guess, a different version of it, because it looks like the outline or the shape of someone, and they're not necessarily on that same crucifix thing. It looks like they may be in a chamber. Maybe this is a transformation chamber, and what I'm getting at is that Cristina could potentially be trying to come into Cthulhu. My last two Lovecraft Country videos, I've mentioned how I think that Cristina will be successful in becoming immortal, and she'll realize that she'll have to ascend and become something different entirely. Haven't seen anybody else mention this too much, and that's that I think Cristina will have to become the Cthulhu creature that we see in the initial trailer being destroyed by Jackie Robinson when they're about to attack Atticus when he's having that daydream from Brini, the Princess of Mars book. I believe that they will have to, Cristina Cristina will have to transcend and become Cthulhu. The most detailed descriptions of Cthulhu were actually based on the statues of the creature. One constructed by an artist after a series of baleful dreams is said to have yielded simultaneous pictures of an octopus, a dragon, and a human caricature. A pulpal, tentacle-headed, surmounted a grotesque and scaly body with rudimentary wings, meaning wings that couldn't actually make this creature capable of flight, which is why you always see Cthulhu drawn with like sort of smaller wings that are behind this massive tentacled octopus-looking creature. Now, another account of what this creature actually looks like, and these are actually like pulled straight from the Cult of Lovecraft, the Cult of Cthulhu. And basically a cop who was investigating a murderous cult who, worshipped this creature, basically stated that the cult represented a monster of vaguely arthropod outline, with an octopus-like head whose face was a mass of feelers, a scaly, rubbery-looking body, prodigious claws on hind and forefeet, and long, narrow wings behind. So basically an octopus man face creature. Looks a lot like the thing from, what are those pirate movies with Johnny Depp? I don't know. I'm sure someone could tell us down in the comments section. There's like 10 of them. Anyway, another thing that's of note is that Castro, who's a cultist who reports that the great old ones who are worshipped are actually telepathic, and they knew all that was occurring in the universe simultaneously. So they knew everything that was happening all at once, and they were also able to communicate with the first humans by molding their dreams, just establishing the Cthulhu cult. And what I'm getting at here is that Cristina has likely been corresponding with this Cthulhu creature, and we'll find out that the cult that her father is a part of, the Sons of Adam, they all actually worship Cthulhu, or the ideal of it, and they don't realize that they're worshiping him and he's influencing them to do so. He's likely got the most control over Cristina. This is why Cristina realizes that she'll have to become Cthulhu himself if she wants to live forever, and Cthulhu will likely have to be summoned into this world, much like in the books, through a human sacrifice. That human sacrifice will be Cristina. Did I just blow your fucking minds? I don't know. Let me know down in the comment section. I'm getting pretty cocky in these videos and making daily uploads. To wrap this video up, I just wanted to mention a couple more things about these promo photos. The first one being that the picture that I briefly mentioned where Lettie and Ruby are talking to each other, and Lettie is holding the Book of Names. Well, if you look on Ruby's person, it looks as though she's holding what could potentially be some unburned sage. My eyes aren't the greatest. And also, she's got a butterfly on her purse. Now, butterflies have symbolized her character arc or her journey throughout this entire first season. And I think it's pretty telling that she's wearing an all-white costume, but then also has the contrast of this butterfly on her purse. It's sort of as though she's accepted the fact that she can get what she wants and still be happy. She can give in to the sins of the flesh and still not feel that guilty about it because she is human after all. She can live as a white woman but also live as a black woman and enjoy being both. The last thing I want to mention, also there's a picture of Dee, but not really anything's going on, just further confirming that she has been cured of the Pickaninny curse. But we gotta realize that Montrose is in these pictures for a reason. He's clearly in the same location that Lettie is in because the lighting looks very similar, and there are books behind him as well as behind Lettie. One thing that I think, not necessarily connected to these two pictures, but one thing we have to realize going into the series finale is that Montrose is a fucking wild card, to say the least. We don't know what to expect from this dude, and we did hear dub of him in the promo talking to Cristina. I would not be surprised if he were the one that gets into a scuffle with Cristina or somehow vandalizes her mark or the spell of invincibility or invulnerability that her father created, the mark of Cain. He read the entire manual of the Sons of Adam, and he has a few tricks up his sleeve. Even though he's sort of been fucking up this entire storyline, I could see him doing something like sacrificing himself if it means that his son Atticus, Lettie, and his potential grandson have a chance of living in the future. That's all all of what he's been about, protecting his family. And even though he's done several things that none of us really like, I think Montrose may come around in the end and end up saving the characters we love. Oh yeah, and best be known, Uncle George will likely be making a reappearance, or potentially Hippolyta will hop through the portal again and go and visit with Uncle George. She's got the blue hair, and that smile on her face really only means one thing to me, and that's that Uncle George will likely be coming back, as he's the only man that can make her smile like that. Alright, I'm gonna get out of here. If you enjoyed this video, please slap a like on it. It's like goals 420. Also, make sure you're subscribed and have your notifications turned on, so that way you'll get an alert every single time I drop a video. Also, super special shout out to every single member of my Patreon family over on patreon.com/yourhuntsreviews. I want to thank you all again so much for watching. My name's Mark, and this has been Sir Hunt's Review. Whoa, Cinnamon, where you gonna run to? Whoa, Cinnamon, where you gonna run to? Oh, on that day, run to the rock, I can't hide you. Alright.